Before you text her again, here's what you need to know. Stoicism. Old Stoic Wisdom. Before you pick up that phone and text her again, take a moment to pause. Are you sitting there, fingers trembling, ready to send a message that might not be returned? Your heart racing? Mind swirling with all the what-ifs? Maybe you're thinking about what to say next, hoping that she'll finally reply. Or perhaps you're simply trying to feel some sense of control over an emotional moment. But before you hit send, stop. Take a deep breath. This isn't just about sending a text. This is about something much deeper. This is the moment that defines you, not just as someone waiting for a reply, but as the man who understands his own worth, even in silence. The truth is, when you choose to remain calm in the face of uncertainty, you reclaim your peace. When emotions scream for attention, your soul must quietly remind you, wait. At this crossroad, you have choices. You can chase after validation, react impulsively, or you can rise above it. You can choose dignity over desperation, composure over chaos, strength over the need to be seen. What you're really deciding is who you want to be when no one is watching, and what your own worth truly means. Remember, this isn't just about her. It's about becoming the man who is rooted in his own identity, who doesn't need external validation to feel complete. This is where the true power lies. As the Stoics say, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Before you act, ensure you're grounded in wisdom, not driven by fleeting emotions. Now, let's talk as brothers on this journey. We're not here to chase or beg, but to rise. Let's get to the heart of the truth. Number 1. The real reason you can't stop texting her. Before you text her again, here's what you need to understand about yourself and your emotions, grounded in ancient Stoic wisdom. That tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts that keep looping, and the overwhelming urge to reach out. All of these feelings stem from your mind desperately seeking closure. It's not a weakness. It's a natural, human impulse. Your mind is scrambling for relief, looking for something familiar to cling to, and in this case, it's her. This craving to text, to say something, anything, is your mind's way of trying to calm the storm. It believes that her response will somehow bring peace, certainty, and a sense of safety. But let's get real for a moment. Deep down, you know that this isn't the solution. Chasing comfort through someone else's reply is like chasing a mirage in the desert. It might seem like it will give you relief, but it never lasts. The more you reach out in search of that external validation, the more you feed a cycle that keeps you tethered to uncertainty. With every message sent from a place of fear or need, you hand over the keys to your emotional well-being. In that moment, it doesn't feel like you're giving away control, but you are. Here's the Stoic truth. Real strength doesn't come from fixing everything outside of yourself. It comes from facing what's inside. When you're faced with that urge to text, you don't need to soothe the ache by seeking validation from someone else. Instead, you face it. You confront the discomfort head-on without depending on her response to feel okay. As Epictetus wisely said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Her response, her affection, those are things beyond your control. The one thing you can control, your reaction, your choices, your peace of mind. Next time you feel the panic rise and your fingers hover over the keyboard, stop. Take a deep breath. Not because you're playing a game or trying to manipulate the situation, but because you're finally recognizing that the only response you need right now is from yourself. Remember, your peace doesn't come from someone else. It comes from you, and you alone. Now take a moment and reflect on this. Have you ever realized how much power you've been giving away in those moments of doubt? Share your thoughts below. Let's dive deeper into how we can regain control over our emotions and not let them control us. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Comment below. I control my emotions, not my circumstances. Let's grow stronger together. Number 2. What your silence really says to her. You've done it. You paused. You resisted the urge to reach out again. You didn't send the text. And in that moment of stillness, you may have felt uncertain or weak. But let me assure you, that moment was powerful. That silence you chose, it wasn't a void. It was strength. And here's why. Your silence speaks volumes. When you stop chasing, when your name no longer flashes across her screen, when her phone stays quiet, she notices. It's not about her waiting for a text. It's about the absence of one. This creates a void, and that void echoes in her mind. Why isn't he reaching out? Did something change? Does he still care? Human nature is programmed to notice what's missing. We are drawn to what's withdrawn. And that silence you've chosen? It makes her pause, reflect, and maybe even regret. But let's be clear, silence isn't about playing games. It's not about making her chase you back or trying to manipulate the situation. It's about mastering yourself. This is where Stoic wisdom enters. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In the context of your silence, this quote holds profound power. What does it mean for you? It means that in this moment, you're not reacting with chaos. You're not scrambling, begging, or trying to prove your worth. Instead, you are remaining composed, centered, and unmoved by external forces. You are demonstrating that your peace of mind, your sense of value, and your self-respect do not depend on her response. That level of emotional composure is rare. The majority of people can't handle the pressure of uncertainty. They'll fold, give in to their emotions, and act out. But you remain steadfast. You embody that quiet confidence, and that is magnetic. It's a rare strength that others will sense, even if they don't admit it. Your silence is a form of discipline. It's dignity in its purest form. It is strength, wrapped in stillness. It's a message that says, I am at peace with myself, whether or not you reply. And whether she acknowledges it or not, she feels that power. So let your silence speak, not from bitterness, nor pride, but from a place of calm, unshakable self-respect. You don't need to make noise to be heard. Sometimes, the most powerful message you can send is by saying nothing at all. And remember, this is not a game. It's about becoming the man who is not shaken by external circumstances. It's about finding strength in your own presence and choosing to act with dignity, no matter the situation. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, how often do you let your emotions govern your actions? How often do you feel the need for validation, to chase, to beg for attention? The answer lies in your ability to stay still, to remain grounded, and to act from a place of peace within yourself. That is Stoic wisdom in action. Number 3, how to master your emotions in love. Before you text her again, remember this. Mastery over your emotions is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, control, and wisdom. Every time you choose silence instead of sending that message, you're not just holding back, you're regaining control. When that emotional wave rises within you and you decide not to act on it, you're taking your power back. You're sending a message, not with words, but with your actions. I decide how I feel. My peace is mine. It is not hers to give or take. This is a powerful moment. The boy who seeks validation through actions becomes the man who knows himself and stands firm in his calmness. You start to understand that emotions are not commands. They are signals, alerts telling you how you feel, but not telling you what to do. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic minds, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Reflect on this deeply. Most of what you feel right now, the anxiety, the doubt, the restless wondering, is not caused by her actions. It's created by your mind. You're imagining worst-case scenarios. You're reading into silence when none was intended. You're making assumptions, creating storms in your head, when in reality the situation is far quieter than you think. So the next time your fingers start to drift towards your phone, when the voice in your head urges you to just check in, to send just one message, pause, take a deep breath and remind yourself, This isn't about backing down. It's about rising up. In this simple act of restraint, you are retraining your nervous system, rewiring your instincts. This moment of silence isn't weakness, it's growth. You are reclaiming emotional control, something perhaps you've never had before. This is how real transformation begins. No longer will you be driven by panic, by the need for immediate reassurance. Instead, you will be guided by your principles, your calm. You will no longer beg for peace, you will build it. Every decision you make to remain calm, every choice to act with patience, every time you choose stillness over chaos, this is the foundation of your peace, being built brick by brick. In a world full of men who react impulsively, you're becoming the one who responds with wisdom. You're the man who doesn't need to seek validation through constant texts. You're the man who rises above the noise, who stands tall in his restraint and emotional intelligence. That, my friend, is how you truly master your emotions in love. And that's how you become the high-value man, the man of wisdom and strength. If you're ready to take control, to rise above your emotions, comment below with, "I am in control of my peace." Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Like and subscribe to continue your journey of wisdom. You've got this. Every decision you make to stay calm is a victory. Number 4. Desperation versus discipline. What's your choice? Let's take a deep dive into the conflict raging within you every time you feel the urge to reach out. Every time that tight knot of anxiety pulls you towards your phone, whispering, "Just text her." You stand at a pivotal crossroad, and the decision you make here speaks volumes about who you are becoming. The choice is simple, but the path is difficult. Desperation or discipline? Desperation is loud, frantic, and disempowering. It whispers in your ear that you need to take action, to send that text, to force connection, all in the hopes that the right words will make her come back to you. But let's be clear, desperation never draws people closer. Instead, it drives them away. You can feel it, can't you? That anxious, frantic energy that you try to disguise, but it leaks through every text, every just checking in, and every late-night message you regret the moment you press send. No matter how carefully you craft your words, desperation is like a magnet for rejection. It's a silent scream for validation that only ends up making you look weak and needy. It's emotional hunger in its most visible form. Discipline, on the other hand, operates in silence. It's patient, thoughtful, and unwavering. Discipline is not about controlling your feelings. It's about not letting them control you. It's knowing what you want, holding your ground, and acting in alignment with your values. Discipline means you feel everything, but choose not to act impulsively. When you embody discipline, your energy shifts, your posture strengthens, your words become deliberate. You stop chasing after approval, you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. And this is where your power lies, not in desperation, but in the quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who commands respect, not just from others, but from himself. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." This is the essence of discipline. It's not about pretending you don't care, but rather choosing not to act on impulses that don't serve your highest purpose. It's about choosing yourself over the fleeting comfort of temporary connection. And this, my friend, is where true emotional wealth lies. When you operate from desperation, you hand over your strength. You trade your power for fleeting satisfaction, hoping that validation from her will fill an empty space inside you. But when you move from discipline, you show the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you are already enough. I don't chase, you say. I create. I don't beg for connection. I build a life so rich, so fulfilling, that others want to be part of it. Discipline comes from a place of fullness. Desperation comes from a place of lack. So take a moment right now, reflect on what you are choosing. In this moment, in every interaction, in every text, you're either building emotional wealth or digging yourself deeper into emotional debt. Ask yourself, what are you becoming with every choice you make? Because only one of these paths, desperation, or discipline will lead you to the life and the relationships you want. Choose wisely. If you resonate with this message, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share which path you're walking on today. Are you moving in desperation or discipline? Let's discuss how we can build lives of emotional wealth together. Number 5. Why chasing her only pushes her away. Now that you understand the power of discipline over desperation, let's dive deeper into the paradox of chasing someone and why it doesn't draw her closer, but actually pushes her away. It may seem counterintuitive, after all. You care deeply and you want to fix things. You think, if I just show her how much she means to me, maybe she'll come back. So you text, you double text, you explain yourself, apologize for things she never even brought up, and keep showing up, hoping she'll recognize the depth of your feelings. But here's the thing. The more you chase, the more she pulls away. It's like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Because chasing sends an unspoken message, one that doesn't say, I care, but rather, my happiness depends on you. And that energy, it's not love, it's pressure, it's heavy, it's needy. Whether she realizes it or not, she feels suffocated by it. And that's why she instinctively distances herself. Attraction isn't something that can be forced. It needs space, it needs mystery, and it requires room to grow. And chasing does the opposite. It robs that space and stifles the very thing you want to nurture. The Stoics understood this, and it's something we are remembering today. You can't force closeness, you can only invite it. When you stop chasing, when you let go and take a step back, something profound shifts. She starts to notice the silence. She notices that your energy has changed. And for the first time in a while, she begins to wonder, why isn't he reaching out anymore? Has he moved on? Is he over it? You've gone from being predictable to becoming a mystery, from anxious to anchored in your own sense of self-worth. But let me be clear, you're not doing this to manipulate her. You're doing it because you've finally come to realize your own worth. You're not meant to beg for connection, to chase after someone who isn't ready to meet you where you stand. You are meant to stand firm in your value and allow those who see it to step forward willingly. So let go. Stop chasing her, not because you've stopped caring, but because you've learned that your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's response. Let her feel the absence. Let her sit with the silence. Let her notice that shift in energy. Because when you stop chasing, you not only create space for her to think, but also space for yourself to rise, to become the person you are always meant to be. This isn't just about love. It's about respecting yourself. It's about standing tall in your own strength and knowing that true connection comes from those who see your worth, not from those who demand it. When you stop chasing, you open the door for something far more powerful, genuine, mutual respect and attraction. Like, comment below and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Comment to remember, my happiness is mine, not someone else's. Number 6. Becoming the man she can't shake. You've stopped chasing. You've chosen stillness over desperation. And now, let's talk about what it means to truly embody that shift. Because here's the hard truth. Women are not drawn to chaos. They're not captivated by panic, by pleading, or by frantic attention. What they are drawn to is the kind of man who is steady, grounded, and calm, no matter the storm. A man who feels deeply but moves with tranquility, not because he's cold or emotionless, but because he has mastered what he feels. Now, imagine this. You are a mountain. The storm rages, thunder cracks, rain pours, winds howl. Yet, the mountain stands strong, unmoved, unshaken. That is you. You are not immune to emotion, but you are no longer ruled by it. You have become the embodiment of quiet strength. This kind of presence sets you apart, because most men crumble. They react impulsively. They spiral when they're left unread or ignored. They let the smallest slights unravel their sense of self. But not you. Not anymore. You've begun to make a choice. It's the choice to not need her to validate your worth. It's the choice to stop seeking attention or reassurance. Instead, you've chosen to anchor your own peace. You stand tall because you know your worth. You don't beg for acknowledgement. You don't seek to be seen. You carry your calm like armor, and you wear your dignity like a crown. Not for show, but because you earned it. And when she looks at you now, she may not say it out loud, but she can feel the difference. She senses the shift within you. The man who used to text her at midnight, desperately seeking clarity, is gone. What stands before her now is a man who leads himself, a man who holds his own peace, who chooses strength over desperation, a man who doesn't chase because he doesn't have to. You've become the mountain, you are steady, you are calm, you are emotionally in control, and that presence, that unwavering strength, doesn't just attract others, it builds a life you're proud to stand in, with or without her. Actionable advice. This journey isn't about seeking validation from others. It's about choosing to be the best version of yourself, a man who embodies calm, strength, and dignity. As you become this man, remember, you don't need to chase. You simply need to stand strong and allow the world to come to you. Quote to live by: the greater the storm, the stronger the mountain. Call to action. If this resonates with you, comment below with "I am the mountain." Let's affirm our strength together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom that can transform your life. Number 7. The art of making her miss you deeply. Imagine this. You've become steady, grounded, unshakable, but now you find yourself asking, will she even notice I've pulled back? Will she care? Here's the truth. She can't miss you if you never create space for her to do so. If you're always around, always texting, always chasing, there is no absence for her to feel. The key to making her miss you is simple, yet profound. Stop filling every silence with your presence. Stop lighting up her phone like a fire alarm. Stop trying to keep the connection alive with constant effort. Let the fire breathe. Because the truth is, if you keep smothering it with attention, it won't burn brighter. It will die. We often believe that love thrives in noise, but that's not where it grows. Love grows in space, in those quiet moments where someone has the chance to reflect, to wonder, to notice what's no longer there. If you're always texting, always checking in, always showing up, she'll never get the chance to feel the shift, to question what your silence means, to ask herself if she took your presence for granted. And maybe she did, but that's not for you to chase. That's for her to realize on her own. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. This is the core of Stoic wisdom. You can't control whether she misses you, and you can't control how she feels, but you can control what you do. You can choose to step back with grace. You can choose to hold your silence like a man who knows his worth. You can choose to let her wonder. And no, this isn't indifference. It's not playing games. It's not emotional warfare. It's self-respect. This is about trusting that your value doesn't disappear just because you're not reminding her of it every day. And if after all of this she never realizes what she had, if your silence is met with more silence, then at least you can walk away with dignity. You showed up as a man, and you left with your self-respect intact. So, let her miss you, not because you pulled away to provoke her, but because you stopped chasing and chose to stand in your worth. This is not about manipulation. It's about demonstrating your strength, your character, and your understanding of the powerful art of detachment. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts below. How do you feel about the space you create in relationships? Let's discuss. Number 8. Avoiding the trap of instant gratification. Let's be real for a moment. We've all been there, staring at your phone, ready to text her. It's that feeling, right? The one that hits you when you're about to send a message, and for just a moment, it feels like you're in control. There's this rush, a tiny spark of hope that she'll respond, that this simple action will bring you closer to her. So, you hit send. For a few seconds, everything feels better. Relief washes over you. You feel connected, even if it's just for that brief, fleeting moment. But then, it happens. The silence. It creeps in, and suddenly you're back in that anxious state. The overthinking floods back in, and you find yourself wondering, did I say too much? Or was that message too short? You check your phone constantly, hoping for that ping that never comes. And before you know it, you're on the same emotional roller coaster, one you swore you'd get off of. Let me tell you something. This isn't strength. It's not progress. It's a cycle. A cycle of chasing the instant gratification your brain craves, a quick fix, a dopamine hit that gives you a temporary high. But like all quick fixes, it crashes. It doesn't bring lasting peace or fulfillment. And let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel good. It's part of being human. But the Stoic path, the one you've chosen to walk, doesn't seek temporary comfort. It seeks lasting peace. Think about the Stoics, the men and women who built their lives on patience, who resisted the fleeting in favour of the eternal. The Stoic mindset teaches us not to chase the rush of fleeting emotions, but to acknowledge them, accept them, and then rise above them. They mastered the art of saying, "This urge, this craving, this does not control me." And here's something no one tells you. Every time you resist that impulse to send that message, to chase after that instant relief, you're not losing, you're winning. You are, in fact, training your mind. You're teaching your nervous system not to reach for those quick fixes. You're building emotional muscle. You're learning to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, to breathe and be present without needing external validation. And this is the kind of strength the world needs more of. It's discipline. It's resilience. It's the emotional fortitude that most people never learn to build. So next time that urge strikes, because it will, I promise you, pause. Don't act impulsively. Breathe. Take a moment to center yourself. And remember, you're not here for cheap, instant relief. You're here to become the kind of man who doesn't need it. Because real peace, the kind of peace that lasts, doesn't come in a flash. It's earned in the quiet decisions we make day after day, in the moments no one sees. That's true Stoic strength, and that's the path you're walking. If you're still here, you're ahead. Comment, "I control my impulses." Let's keep growing stronger. Thanks for tuning in to Stoicism Win today. If this message resonated with you, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Type, "I am in control of myself." Say it for you. Say it for the man you're becoming. Remember, real strength comes from within. It's not about chasing or reacting. It's about mastering your emotions and choosing calm over chaos. If you're ready to embrace that path of quiet confidence and unwavering control, keep pushing forward. Stay strong. Stay grounded. Until next time, keep cultivating your inner strength. See you in the next video.